Hello everyone, my name's Dan, I like to program. Let's get into this week's problem. So you're given the head of two lists, sorted linked lists, list 1 and list 2, shown up here in the top right corner of the screen. You want to merge the two lists into one sorted list. The list should be made by splicing together the nodes of the first two lists. And then at the end, you will return the head of the merged linked list. If you look at the top right corner here, we have an example. We have two linked lists. This one is 1 points to 2 points to 4. Next one is 1 points to 3 points to 4. And when you merge them together, you'll see that 1 points to 1. They're equal, so they go next to each other. And then the next one is 2. And then the next one is 3. The next one is 4. And then the next one is 4. You'll see that they're also color-coded. And this indicates just which list they came from, and you'll see that they're all in ascending order. And that's what we need to do. Let's get into the code. Alright, we're in IntelliJ now, and I've already gotten started. We have our class merge two sorted lists. We have a method called merge two lists, which will be where we do our work, and then I made some testing print statements right over here. You'll see in this one we will start out with a linked list that starts at 1 and then 3 and then 5 right over here. This is what it looks like, and the same for all of these two. And then if you look down here, we're going to merge list 1 and list 2. Also notice that they're already sorted. They're in ascending order, and so when we merge them, the product will be 1 2 3 4 5 6 for 1 and 2. And if you look here, 1 through 5 and 2 4 6 looks about right. And then if you look at this one, we're going to merge node list 3 and 4, and we're going to get 2 4 7 7 8 9. And if you look right here, 2 4 7 7 8 9 looks about right. And to do this, I have another class created. It's just a class called listNode. It's just a general node structure for a singly linked list. Essentially, we have a value, we have a next, and we can assign it using a couple constructors. And then I have a toString method here that just prints it out for us so we can see it easily later. Oops, didn't mean to do that. And so to get started, I'm actually going to bring you into the notepad so I can show you more about the inner structure of this problem. Alrighty, we're in the notepad here. We have two lists, and we are going to merge them as an example. So for our algorithm, we are going to use a recursive algorithm, and the bread and butter of our algorithm will be the comparison of two heads, namely this head and this head. So we'll get started. We'll say, is this one bigger than this one? Or I'll say, is the first one smaller than the second one? And they're the same, so we're just going to default to the top one. And now we're going to assign a new head. So the head will be this one in our algorithm. And then after we assign the new head, we're going to return this original head. So goodbye, not head, but we're returning you. And now we're going to do the same thing we just did. We're going to now see and compare these two heads. Which one is smaller? Well, obviously the one down here is smaller. So we're going to say this isn't the head anymore. This one's the head. And then we're also going to return this one. And now we're going to do the same thing again, just like any recursive algorithm. We're just going to keep going until we hit one of our stopping points, one of our end cases. We're going to say, is 4 smaller than 2? Nope, 2 is smaller, so we're going to say this one's smaller. We're going to say this isn't the head anymore. This one is the head. And then we're going to return this one, and then we're going to repeat our comparison. We are going to say, is 3 smaller than 4? Yes, it is. We are going to say this isn't the head anymore. This one's the head. And then we're going to return this one. and then we're going to compare head 4 and the other head 4. And since they are the same in this case, we are going to return this one. So we're going to say this is the new head, this is not the head, but we're going to return, and now we're going to compare these two. 4 is smaller than 6, so we're going to say this is the head, this is not the head, but we're going to return this one. And now we have a head that is null, and we have a head that is not null. So what do we do? We've hit one of our end cases. If we reach the end of one of the lists, all we gotta do is return the rest of the list that's not empty yet. And so for our algorithm, what did we do? First thing we did was we compared the heads. The second thing we did was assigned a new head. And the third thing we did was return the original head. And that's what we're going to do in our algorithm. We're going to compare the heads. We're going to see which one's smaller. We're going to assign a new head to the list that had the smaller head. And then we're going to return that original smaller head. Let's get back into the code. All right, we're back in IntelliJ, and now we're going to get started on our algorithm. So what was the first step of our algorithm? We compared the head values. So we're going to do just that. We're going to do comparison of the head values. So L1.val less than L2.val. And we're going to say if L1's value is less than L2's value, we then want to say L1.next is equal to, this is where our recursion comes in, merge two lists, and then remember how we set a new head. This is how we're setting a new head. We're saying L1.next. Oh my god, I'm typing. Oh my goodness. L1.next and L2. And then we return L1. What's this warning right here? Variable already assigned to this value. That's fine. And then after that, we're going to say else if L1.val is not less than L2.val. That means L2.val is less than L1. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to say L2.next is equal to merge two lists. And then we're going to say L1, comma, L2.next. And we have essentially what this whole algorithm does, but we do need to create the end cases. So I'm going to put an else right here, and then we're going to have another if, and then we're actually going to have two more comparisons. It's going to be an if, and then another else if, and these two are going to be comparisons for if the list is now pointing to null. So if L1 is equal to null, we are going to return the rest of L2 because we've hit the end of L1, which means L2 has something left, probably, and we're just going to return the rest of that because we don't have to do any more comparisons. And then the same thing right here, if L2 is equal to null, we are just going to return the rest of L1. And that's just about it. We're checking to see if we have hit the end of lists. And if we have, we're just going to return the rest of the other list. And then right here, we're seeing if the L1's value is less than L2. And if it is, we assign a new head to the next call of our recursive function, which is this L1.next. We're just going to the next one. And then we're returning L1. And then we're just doing the same thing with L2 over here. But I forgot to put in the return L2. And then we don't need this anymore. It never reaches. That was just a placeholder. So let's test it out. Let's see if it works. Or if I've made an egregious error. So we have run it. These are our print statements. And I've already set the values of what they should be right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 2, 4, 7, 7, 8, 9. And if we look right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 4, 7, 7, 8, 9. And it works. Hooray. So that's all for today. If you have a better solution, any questions, leave it down in the comments. I'll leave the next week's question in the description, as well as the link to the GitHub, so you can take a look for yourself. And if you want to subscribe, like, do whatever you want, and have a great day. Goodbye.